Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business Balance and Bloom with Olykaybee. Today's conversation is for anyone who is ever first stuck in the middle. Like you're not where you used to be, but also you're not where you ought to be. That in between space can feel confusing sometimes, especially when it feels like everyone else is moving faster. You start wondering, am I missing something or did I take a wrong turn? But what I've learned both in life and in business is that the middle is not a mistake, it's a making zone. I remember when I was starting out in business, everything felt so clear in my head. The vision, the ideas, the goals, the energy. It was so bright, like I can see it. Oh yeah, this is the way I want to go. This is the path. This is how I want to do it. Like you work everything out in your head. But somehow along the way, I hit the silent stretch. You know that part nobody posts about. Say slow down. I just didn't click as fast as it used to be. And then I keep asking, God, what is happening? Then I came across something in The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick. He said, delay is not denial. That line hit me deeply. It reminded me that purpose unfolds in layers. Sometimes you're not waiting on God. He's waiting on you to grow into what He already prepared for you. This reminds me about this weekend during the church conference when the guest speaker said something about capacity. Do you have the capacity to handle that which God has already prepared for you? Are you able to manage it? Are you able to manage it? So that which God has already prepared for you is waiting for you to grow enough to be able to handle it. It's not just about you waiting on God. God is also waiting on you to be able to handle that which He has already prepared for you. That's when I started to see it differently. Purpose wasn't just about arriving somewhere. It's about becoming. Who are you becoming? It's about becoming someone. And that's what today's talk is really about. Purpose in progress. Because growth doesn't always look glamorous. No, it's always happening. Growth is always happening, even when you can see it. It is always happening. You might not see the true or the full picture yet, but trust me, something is shifting, even in the silent moment. As James Clear said in Atomic Habit, every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. So even when it feels small, it still counts because you're becoming. I remember a season when I was juggling everything, like business, creativity, family, purpose, and still wondering, when will it all finally make sense? You know those moments when you're doing all the right things, like you show up consistently, praying, planning, pushing, yet it still feels like nothing is moving. That was me. I will wake up early, bake, go to work, create content, send out orders, encourage others, but inside I was quietly asking, Lord, is this really leading anywhere? Then one day, during my quiet time, I felt God remind me, purpose is not a destination, it's a journey. It hit me that I was waiting for a finish line that doesn't exist. Because in purpose, a finish line doesn't exist. It unfolds as we work it out. Purpose unfolds as we work it out. Sometimes the progress is silent, the growth is unseen, the results are still under construction. But that doesn't mean you're stagnant. No, it means you're being shaped. When I look back now, those quiet seasons, those ones that felt slow and uncomfortable, were actually where my roots went deeper. It was in those moments I learned discipline. It was in those moments I learned resilience. It was in those moments I learned trust. And if you are in that kind of season right now, where things feel uncertain or delayed, you are not behind. You are being built. And you are not forgotten. No, you're not forgotten. You're being formed. It reminds me of that line from the Purpose-Driven Life. God is more interested in your character than your comfort. And that's exactly what the middle looks like. It's the classroom where purpose matures. The middle is the classroom where purpose matures. I want to share 3 key points about purpose today. Number 1, purpose unfolds in seasons. You can't rush purpose, no. It's revealed layer by layer. Yeah, there's a reason why Ecclesiastes 3 says, to everything there is a season. To everything there is a season. Some seasons are for planting, some are for pruning, and others are for harvesting. When I think back, there were moments I felt left behind because others seems to be soaring. Why I was still figuring things out. But God was quietly teaching me that every delay and detour had meaning. The season you are in right now might not be the spotlight moment, but it's still scared. God uses every stage, even the slow, the uncertain ones, to shape who you are becoming. So don't despise the process. You are not late, you are in training. And point 2, purpose isn't always feasible. Just because you can't see growth doesn't mean it's not happening. It is happening. I want you to think about a seed. When you think about a seed, when it's buried in the ground, it looks like nothing is happening. Yeah? Yes, it looks like nothing is happening. It's dark, it's quiet, it's hidden. But deep down, something powerful is taking root. So that is it. That's how purpose works. Sometimes God hides your progress so He can protect your process. I'm going to say this again. Sometimes God hides your progress so He can protect your process. It's growing your endurance, it's growing your faith, it's growing your focus away from the noise of validation. Sometimes God has said something, He has shown you this is the way to go, but you're waiting for people to do the validation for you, to tell you, oh, why will you do that? Why will you go that way? No. What will people say? You're always waiting for validation. So God is growing your endurance, growing your focus away from the noise of validation. It reminds me of Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. It says, do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. So, if you don't see results yet, don't stop watering your seed. The soil is working even when you can't see it. And thirdly, peace comes from trusting the process. Peace comes from trusting the process. Purpose without peace becomes pressure. And that's not what God wants. That's not God's plan for you. We lose peace when we start comparing our chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 10. But when you trust that God's timeline for you is perfect, you make room for grace. Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it." That's your reminder that you don't have to strive your way to purpose. You grow into it. One obedient step at a time. One obedient step at a time. So, breathe. Take a deep breath. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to figure it all out today. Your purpose is unfolding. Yes, it is unfolding beautifully. It is unfolding intentionally and at the right time. Always remember that your purpose is unfolding. It's unfolding beautifully, intentionally, and at the right time. So let me ask you, what's one way you're learning to be patient in your progress? It could be your business, your faith journey, your personal growth, or even just learning to rest and not rush. Or maybe patience in growth, waiting for clarity, balancing purpose and peace. All of these are growth. So what is that way you're learning to be patient in your progress? You see, acknowledging where you are is the first step towards transformation. Sometimes we think progress means big leap, but often it's just being faithful in the small unseen steps. And every time you choose patience over pressure, you are actually growing deeper roots. So keep watering that part of your life, because what you nurture now will blossom later. I want to leave you with this reminder. Don't despise the days of your small beginning. Those quiet, ordinary, behind the scenes moments, they are not wasted. They are the foundation of everything great you're becoming. You might not see the full picture yet, but God does. He's not just writing your story, He's developing you through it. You are not stuck. You are not stuck. You are being strengthened. You're not forgotten. You're being formed. You are not behind. You are at the right. You're just right on time. You're right on schedule in God's plan. So breathe again. I say breathe. Take a deep breath. Trust that every step, even the slow ones, are leading somewhere beautiful. Because purpose isn't a finish line. It's a daily walk with grace. And in God's timing, all the pieces will make sense at last. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Business Balance and Bloom with Olykaybee. So if this spoke to you, if it reminds you that progress takes patience, please share it with someone who is still trusting the process too. And remember, every step you take in faith is part of your purpose unfolding. See you again next week, and until then, keep showing up with grace, keep growing in progress, and keep living in balance.